in last class we was discussing the abstraction of precipitation, and we have calculated the pan evaporation. We have calculated the pan evaporation. So, today we will be calculating the evaporation through empirical formula that we covered in previous class. Okay. So, the empirical evaporation measurement and estimation through empirical formulas. So, the equation, the first equation, it is a Fitzgerald equations. So, in this equation, through this equation, E is equal to 0.4 plus 0.124 times of V multiplied by P s minus P a. P s is the P s and P a, these are the saturation and actual vapor. Okay. P a surrounding pressure, okay. It is the pressure of the molecule. Okay. In mm of H g. Okay. So, through this equation we can calculate the evaporation, okay, and it is based on the Dalton principle, because I told you in previous class that it is evaporation is dependent upon P s minus P a. Okay. So, another equations, Mayer's equation. In Mayer's equation we have this one equation, V is the wind speed, in kilometer per hour, okay, in kilometer per hour, and remaining thing is same, okay, thing is same, okay. That constant is different, okay, that constant is different. Next equations, in this equation, this is the equation, that is being given by Rovers. Okay. So, we can use these equations to calculate the evaporation, next method to calculate the evaporation is water budget method. In water budget method, we are using this one relation. What is that relation? Sum of total input minus sum of total output, that will equals to be plus minus delta S. Delta S is the change in the reservoir quantity, okay, plus if added minus if output is more as compared to input, okay, positive when water level increases and vice versa when water level decreases. So, let us take this example. In this example, say certain quantity of water is added by sum of I, okay, and sum of I, okay, and through precipitation, precipitation can also be there, certain this one water it comes from stream flow, okay, any quantity that can be added. Suppose initially this is the level of the water, okay, and if evaporation is taking place, okay, then if the evaporation is more, okay, if water some part of the water will be lost through seepage, okay, some part of the water will be lost through seepage, okay. Now, the input is what? Input is this one, this precipitation, okay, and output is evaporation, these are the last seepage, okay, and this one, okay, if suppose some part of the water is taken out, okay. So, the value of delta S, okay, this level is going up or going down, that depends upon the values of this one, this one, this one, this one and this one, means by this equations. Okay. I plus P, okay. P is precipitation, input whatever the water is coming to that water bodies, output water used, evaporation and seepage. Okay. Positive if level is going up and negative if level is going down. Okay. So, with that method, with that equations, we can calculate the value of E. We can calculate the value of E. We can calculate the value of V by knowing this this much level of water body. Okay. If we know the level of this water body, okay. If we know the seepage value, seepage loss, okay. Output, if we have other remaining other values, then we can calculate the evaporation. Okay. So, this is the water budget method, and let us take one example, say change in water level. So, it is going down, okay. It is going down. So, it is 0.58, okay. Since this is positive sign, what it's mean, water level is increasing, okay. Water level is increasing. Initially water level was 103.2 and now it is this one. So, it is 0.058. It is the change in the water level, and change in the water level, and using that equations, using this one equations, okay, using this one equations, in this example, this is the input, this is I, this is the precipitation, okay. This one is the seepage, this one is the seepage S, okay, as in this question, okay, and this E, okay. So, everything is known to us. So, value of E from this equation can be calculated, value of E evaporation can be calculated, okay. So, anything if it is given, then we can calculate, okay. Here that data, this one data, this is the input data, okay. This is the input data, this is the output data, okay, and the change in the level, since it is -2, it is -2, what it mean, water is going down, then in this example, evaporation is given, okay. This is E, okay, evaporation is given. Seepage can be calculated, okay. This is it can be calculated, seepage loss in hectare meter can be calculated by using proper unit, by taking by proper unit we can calculate, okay. The last one method to measure the evaporation, it is energy balance method. This is energy balance method. What is that? What is the equation? Equation is He. He is what? Heat energy used in evaporation. Heat energy used in evaporation is equal to, that energy is equal to R. R is it is what? Incoming solar radiation. It is, you can also it can call as insolution in watts per meter square, okay. Minus HA. HA is what? Sensible heat loss to the atmosphere, heat loss to the atmosphere, and Hg. Hg is what? It is the ground heat flux. Okay. So, and ground heat flux, okay. This is okay, and heat energy used in evaporation. Heat energy used in evaporation. It is given by this one equation. Okay, it is given by this one equation, and this heat is dependent upon rho W. Rho W is what? Mass density of the water. In kg per meter cube. Okay. L is the latent heat of the vaporization. This is the latent heat of vaporization in unit joule per kg, and E is the rate of evaporation that we need to calculate. Okay. So, if we know other things, if we know the other thing except this one, okay, rho w L, that is known to us, that is known to us, means H e, okay, that is known to us, okay. And if we know other things, okay, means if we know R is if this one solar radiation, okay, H A is this one, okay, H A sensible heat loss, okay, through water bodies, okay, if we know this one, and energy used in evaporation, okay, through evaporation, okay, directly proportional to E, and this one is also H g, ground heat flux, okay, ground heat flux. If we know this one, then by equating rho w into L into E, that value can be calculated, that value can be calculated. Okay. So, these are different method, these are the different method, pan, empirical, water budget method, energy balance method. Using that we can calculate the evaporation. Okay. The next abstraction of precipitation. Okay. Prior to go next abstraction, we should talk on the factors affecting method to control evaporation. Okay. And prior to that, okay, let us take one example, based on the energy balance method. Okay. Okay. Say this is the value R L rho w E, it is given, then we can calculate, if R L rho w, okay, if it is known to us, R 200 watts per square meter, okay, in this surface area, this much quantity of the solar radiation we are receiving, latent heat, okay, this is the fixed quantity that we know very well, rho w that we know very well. Okay. So, using that relation, by putting the value of capital R, rho w and L, we can calculate the value of evaporation. Okay. And deriving this equation, H A and H G being so small, they are negligible. Okay. That thing we if we ignore that, okay, because the measurement of this is also very difficult. Okay. H A and okay, this one H A and this one measurement is also very difficult. So, and the quantity is also very less. So, if we neglect this, then we have a very simple formula, then we can calculate the evaporation. Okay. Next, let us talk the methods to control the evaporation. So, the first thing, if we put the mechanical cover, okay, that is then we can reduce the evaporation. Okay. But that cover can be used for small water bodies. Okay. Okay, that protects the solar radiation, but it is used for small water bodies. The next method what we can apply, it is surface floats. Okay. It is exposed surface area decreases, surface area can be decreased by surface float. We can apply surface films, we can use to for surface active chemical substances. Okay. Surface active chemical substances. Okay. By using that we can control on the evaporation. Okay. These are the materials which are commonly used for this purpose, cetyl alcohol and stearyl alcohol, okay, hexadecanol and octadecanol. Okay. Evaporation, these are called as evaporation evaporation inhibitors. Okay. So, we can use these inhibitors. Okay. Better reservoir planning can be a method to control the evaporation. Okay. Better reservoir operation, okay, better evaporation operation and planting trees, that can be the methods to control the evaporation. Coming to next abstractions of precipitation, that is transpiration. That is transpiration. What is that? Transpiration is the process. Transpiration is the process by which water leaves the living plant through the stomatal opening of the leaves and diffuse into the atmosphere as vapor. Okay. What means this one? Okay. That much through leaf certain quantity, say this much of water, okay, diffused to atmosphere as a vapor. Okay. This transpiration is a plant evaporation. Okay, is the plant evaporation of water through plant. Okay, through plant. Transpiration is confined only to daytime hours. Okay, only to daytime hours. That type of evaporation is taking place. Okay. Plants transfer more than 80 times water that what they consume during photosynthesis, right. Transpiration is measured by a device known as phytometers. So, we are using phytometers to measure this quantity of the water which is released in the atmosphere through vapor. Okay. How it can be measured? How it can be measured? We measure it through this one equation. What is that? Let us talk. Weight of the container along with plant and soil, let us it is W1, and weight of the water added, say it is W2, and the final weight of the container if it is W2. Okay. Then the transpiration it will be W1 plus W minus E times of W2 minus E times of W2. So, that equation can be used for transpiration. Okay. So, let us talk the factors affecting the transpiration. So, first one is a plant factor, then soil factors and weather factors. Okay. These are different categories. So, plant factors, different plants have different type of transpiration, stages of plant growth. Okay. As the plant is growing, the water requirement will also be high. Type of leaf structures. Okay. Type of leaf structure is the means to make more evaporation. Soil features. Soil features means type of the soil, permeability, moisture content of the soil, porosity can be the factors affecting transpiration, and these are the weather factors. Temperature, radiation, wind, pressure, humidities are the factors affecting the transpiration. Let us talk the next abstraction, that is evapotranspiration. Evapotranspiration. Okay. What is that? It is it is the sum of the two terms, transpiration plus evaporation. Okay. Transpiration plus evaporation. Transpiration, it is the evaporation from the plant, it is the transpiration, it is the evaporation from the plant. Okay. And evaporation, this is evaporation from the land. So, what is the evaporation? It is plant evaporation and land evaporation, sum of these two, plant evaporation and land evaporation. Okay. See in this figure, this is E, land evaporation E, and this one is T is the transpiration. Okay. This one is transpiration. Okay. So, to calculate this one, let us we have two type of evapotranspiration, potential and actual. What is potential evaporation? Potential evaporation occurs if soil contains adequate moisture to meet the vegetative need of the ground covered by full vegetation. Okay. if soil has adequate moisture, then and only then potential evaporation is taking place, and actual transpiration at a given time at a given place under specific conditions, okay, under specific conditions. So, depending potential evapotranspiration, it depends upon the moisture, it depends upon the moistures, soil moisture. Okay. If there is a difference, then we have okay. Let us take next slide. Relation between PET and AET. Okay, this is AET. This is a AET. Okay, PET and AET. So, if moisture content is equal to field capacity. Okay, if moisture content is equal to field capacity, what is field capacity? Field capacity is the maximum capacity to store the water within the soil. Okay, and there is one more thing, which is a permanent wilting point. Permanent wilting point is the moisture content, is that moisture content below which water cannot below which plant cannot survive on the soil. Okay. So, what is the quantity of the allowable moisture? Quantity of the allowable moisture will be what? The difference of the field capacity minus this one, field capacity minus this one, that is called as allowable moisture content. Allowable moisture content means AMC. Okay. And in actual practice, water level moisture content is in between that, Okay. Suppose water, we are adding water beyond the field capacity, then what will happen? Part of the water will be drained off as a runoff. Okay. So, if moisture content is equal to the field capacity, then potential evapotranspiration and actual evapotranspiration both will be same, there is no any difference. Okay. If moisture content is less than the field capacity, okay, if less than the field capacity, then actual evapotranspiration will be less as compared to potential. Okay. And if the moisture content is equal to permanent wilting point at this point, then actual evapotranspiration will be what? It will be 0, because there is no moisture, then the ratio will be 0. Okay. 80 is 0, then the naturally ratio will be 0, and if the content is less than, then this ratio is less than 1. Okay. In that case, it is only 1, but it cannot be more than 1. Okay. Ratio will be always either 1 or 0 or less than 1. So, that ratio is either 0 or 1 or less than 1. Okay. Next, let us measure the evapotranspiration. We have 3 methods: lysimeters, Penman's equations, and Blaney-Cradle formula. With these methods, we can estimate the evapotranspiration. Okay. Look in this model. Say certain quantity of the water is added. Okay. Say it is I. Okay. And in this model, say this is the evaporation. Okay. Certain quantity of the evaporation through soil. Okay. Through soil. Okay. Say this is a transpiration T. Okay. And this water, the water which is added to this plant, okay, is changing the moisture of the soil, say delta MC. Okay. Del MC. Okay. And say certain quantity of the water is coming out, say it is O, say it is O. Now, using balance equation balance, we can calculate evapotranspiration. What will be evapotranspiration? Evapotranspiration, it is input is what? Input is I. Okay. So, I minus the next thing is output. So, output is first one is this one O, minus this one del MC. Okay. Since we need to calculate what? E and T. Okay. We need to calculate E and T. Okay. Okay. These are the input, these are the outputs actually. So, input is only one I, water is being added, and outputs this one and that one. So, this is the concept behind the lysis meter to calculate the evapotranspiration, Penman's has given equations. Through that equations, we can also calculate the evapotranspiration. And that evapotranspiration, it depends upon the soil factors. It depends upon the plants also. Plant growths that has been discussed previously. So, these abstractions is very much important to get the effective rainfall, What is effective rainfall? Effective rainfall, it is total precipitation. Minus total loss. Okay. So, when the water is coming to the land, okay, some part of the water, some part of the precipitation is being lost and known as initial loss, okay, like intercepted water. Okay. And some part of the water that is being immediately evaporated from the tea leaves. So, after removing this initial loss and other abstractions like evaporation, like transpiration and evapotranspiration, we are able to find that total loss, and after removing this total loss, the precipitation whatever we have, that is effective rainfall. Okay. And that effective rainfall is going to we take in making different graphs, different curves, hydrographs, flow duration curve and many more to calculate the hydrological parameters. Okay. Thank you very much.